This is how awesome is to have a friend in Hong Kong. Sol here has immediately brought us to the observation roof from where you can see the entire Victoria Harbour.
Welcome to Hong Kong!
Hong Kong, an area that has evolved from a humble fishing village into one of the world's leading financial and cultural centers. The area was originally part of the Chinese Empire but was later ceded to Great Britain in 1842 after the First Opium War by the Treaty of Nanking. Under British rule, Hong Kong became a major trading port. My name is Yegor Yeremeyev. You're on my channel where I travel around different countries, immersing myself in local life, culture and history. I get to know the local sites and try to find the perfect city to live in. In this episode, we'll talk about Hong Kong, its connection with opium and tea, its legendary pirates who became the prototypes of famous pirate characters, about a small but important Hong Kong village where a flower has been found that became the symbol of Hong Kong. Well, today we're going on a historical journey. As soon as I got off the plane, they immediately asked my passport and visa. A woman from border control was standing right next to the plane. Now I'm riding this train without a driver to the immigration checkpoint. That's it, I went through it, filled the immigration card, handed it in. I wasn't asked any questions at the immigration checkpoint. They've most likely already checked me earlier in Kuala Lumpur. Then the woman asked me what I was doing here, put a stamp and that's it. And now I'm going to town on the express. The Opium Wars and tea trade are inseparably linked chapters in Chinese history. In the early 19th century, the British East India Company sought to eliminate trade imbalance with China. They found a solution in opium trade by growing opium in India and exporting it to China under the guise of medicine. In records of the time, opium was often referred to with various euphemisms: special currency, local product, soap, product number 100. The British imported large quantities of tea, silk and porcelain from China, but China had little interest in British goods. This trade deficit prompted the East India Company to promote opium as a commodity to balance the scales. Of course, opium use led to the obvious consequence of drug addiction. That's how the British at one point literally hooked the Chinese on opium. Tensions increased when Chinese authorities attempted to suppress the trade, which led to the First Opium War. Ultimately, British naval superiority led to defeat of China. The war was ended by the Treaty of Nanking in 1842, which ceded Hong Kong to the British and opened 5 ports for trade. The tea trade played a decisive role in the Opium Wars, as tea was one of the main goods sought after by the British. The demand for tea spurred innovation in shipping, leading to the development of faster clippers, merchant ships. One could say racing ships were designed. This gave rise to kind of tea race among ship owners. The success of tea clippers contributed to the globalization of trade routes and acceleration of the global economy. I took the express train to the city center. The name is Kowloon. It took me half an hour. Now I need to somehow get out into the city and get to the hotel. Hong Kong has a rich history of piracy, especially in the 19th century. The geography of Hong Kong, with its many islands, gulfs and hidden bays, provided pirates with perfect hiding places. The intricate waterways allowed them to ambush passing ships and easily elude authorities. The waters surrounding Hong Kong, including the Qingchao and Lantau Islands and the Sai-Kung Peninsula, were infamous for their pirate activity. These places served as bases for pirate fleets. One of the most notorious pirates in the region was Chung Po Tsai. He was a son of fishermen, but as a teenager he was captured by pirates and later took up piracy himself and began to terrorize all seafarers of the time. Incidentally, he became the prototype for one of the villains of the Pirates of the Caribbean, Xiao Feng. Legend says that the young pirate had hidden treasure on Qingchao, an island whose name literally means Long Island. It now has a cave named after this very pirate. Some believe that the pirate treasure has not yet been found, and therefore visit it with a glimmer of hope of becoming the lucky one. Would you try to find it? Eventually, Britain put an end to piracy. The British colonial authorities in Hong Kong took active measures to stop it. Naval patrols were established and raids were carried out to the pirates' hideouts. The capture of key pirate leaders helped reduce the level of piracy in the region. By the mid-19th century, combination patrolling by British naval forces, strengthening of law enforcement authorities, and changing of economic dynamics led to a decline in piracy in Hong Kong. The Opium Wars and subsequent colonization further contributed to the suppression of piracy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
During the Second World War, Hong Kong fell under the pressure of Japanese forces in 1941 and went through a difficult three-year occupation. In the post-war period, Hong Kong was rebuilt anew and established itself as a global economic player. In 1997, Hong Kong was returned to China by the British under the principle of one country, two systems, which ensured a high degree of autonomy for 50 years. The handover ceremony included a unique countdown in two languages, English and Chinese. Today, Hong Kong is known as the world's financial center with the Hong Kong Stock Exchange and numerous transnational corporations. It also has a huge number of skyscrapers. There are more than 8,000 of them here and more than 8,000 high-rise buildings in total. The tallest building in Hong Kong is the 108-story International Commerce Center, 484 meters high, built in 2010. Coming after it is the 78-story Central Plaza skyscraper, 374 meters high, housing the tallest church in the world. But we'll talk about modern Hong Kong in the coming episodes, so don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out. The name Hong Kong in Chinese is made up of two characters meaning fragrant and harbor. That is, the name of the city can be literally translated as fragrant harbor. Once upon a time, in one of the Hong Kong districts, namely in the Aberdeen area, traders sold products made of aromatic wood and incense. The nearby Victoria Harbour separates Hong Kong Island and the Kowloon Peninsula. This, by the way, is one of the deepest natural seaports in the world. Alright, welcome to my little Hong Kong apartment. Although this probably looks more like a hotel room of a Chinese Catherine the Great. Why? Well, look for yourself. It is actually really cool. The room is, I'd say, it's comfortable. It's not small. Well, it's not big either. It's compact, but nice. I don't remember staying in anything like this, so welcome to my room. Something that you need to think about if you haven't been to Hong Kong is sockets. You'll need adapters. Sockets here are like in the UK, like in London, so take adapters in advance. Because look, the sockets here look like this. But there are also the USB ports, which I have in my room. But, like, frankly, charging through them is pretty slow. I'm in the center and I have... Here is his curtains. Here is a shopping street with Nike, Adidas stores, shopping centers, tons of places to shop. Mirrors, if you like looking at yourself, there are a lot of them here. They're huge, floor to ceiling. I like the way this door closes, and quite an unusual way to lock it with this hole in it with the latch. And another floor to ceiling mirror, floor to ceiling. If you come here with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, it's enough space for one to put on makeup there and another to dry their hair here. No problem at all. And if you also have children, there is even this tinted glass too. Down below there is a gym. It's small, but it has dumbbells if you need to warm up or something, and it's there downstairs. I have everything included. Booking gives me all this at a good price. By the way, booking, since I have this genius, or what's called like genius. I am a genius because I travel a lot. They often give me all sorts of bonuses. For example, I stayed in Singapore and they give me a great bonus. It was probably about $40 a day cheaper for me, I think. And also, as a bonus here, they gave me a little upgrade of my room and also included the free breakfasts here. Hong Kong flag is a red cloth with white flower in the middle. The red and white palette was chosen for a reason. These two colors symbolize the one country, two systems principle. And the flower is Bauhinia blakeiana, which does not occur in nature. It's a hybrid of orchid tree created through cultivation. The plant was named after the famous botanist Sir Henry Blake. He was the governor of Hong Kong from 1898 to 903. In Hong Kong, Bauhinia leaves are called smart leaves and are considered a symbol of wisdom. Some of you may have put a nickel under your heel to help you pass an exam. Here, some school children and students use Bauhinia leaves to make bookmarks for textbooks in the hope that they will bring them luck in their studies. By the way, this is a great opportunity to write a comment telling us what you did to successfully pass an exam. Bauhinia was officially adopted as the emblem of Hong Kong in 1997. The flower was chosen to represent the uniqueness and the mixture of East and West in the city. The 5 petals of the flower also symbolize 5 stars on the national flag of China. As I've already mentioned, the tree was discovered around 1880 near Pok Fu Lam. Pok Fu Lam is a historical village that has existed since the early 17th century. In the past, locals have repeatedly asked the government to grant the indigenous people of Pok Fu Lam the same recognition as those in the new territories. But these claims were rejected by the government, which threatened to demolish the village altogether. Which of course doesn't seem like the best solution, since the village has a real historical value. During the Kangxi period of the Qing dynasty in the late 17th century, about 2,000 people came to this village seeking refuge from the unrest in mainland China. The village's early residents, mostly with the surnames Chen, Huang, and Luo, were farmers. The Shenang County Journal mentioned that Pok Fu Lam Village was one of the 3 villages on Hong Kong Island. I'm still in Hong Kong. My next destination is Shanghai. I've already bought tickets. By the way, when I arrived, they asked me right away where my tickets from Hong Kong are. Where are they? And I had to buy the ticket right at the check-in. So I have bought a ticket to Shanghai. I'm here in Hong Kong for 3 nights. I've already spent 1. I'm planning to see what cool universities Shanghai has to study at, because my channel, as you may know, is also dedicated to foreign education. If you're interested in studying like in Asia or elsewhere, I have a huge number of videos from different universities here, and I have videos from Singapore universities. Now I'm in Hong Kong, and coming up Shanghai, Beijing and Seoul. That's the route. I'll be filming universities everywhere, as well as reviews of the cities, so that it was more interesting for you. There are also other places in Hong Kong that are of historical value. Aberdeen is an area in the southern part of the Hong Kong island, famous for its maritime history and its atmosphere of a traditional fishing village. It was once a small fishing village inhabited by the Tanka people, who traditionally lived in boats. Fishing played a crucial role in their livelihood, and soon their distinctive houseboats have become common sight in Aberdeen Harbour. How do you like this type of housing? Would you stay in a boat hotel room if you had the opportunity? Floating hotels may not be as popular here, but floating restaurants are a different matter. In South Aberdeen, there was once a restaurant that became world famous. Its name is Jumbo Restaurant. It was a merger of 2 establishments, Jumbo itself and Thai Pak. Both restaurants were decorated in the style of Chinese palaces with exquisite details and adornments. The furniture inside was expensive and elegant, and the service and etiquette of the staff were always impeccable. To add to the luxurious appearance, in one of the halls there was even an imperial throne, which you could just sit on and feel like an emperor. The restaurant was founded in 1976. Over the 44 years of its existence, Jumbo Kingdom has been visited by more than 30 million visitors, including Queen Elizabeth II, Jimmy Carter and Tom Cruise. The establishment was featured in many Hong Kong and international films, including Enter the Dragon, starring Bruce Lee, and The Man with the Golden Gun. 30 million Hong Kong dollars were invested into the project, which at the time amounted to about $4 million US. The restaurant paid special attention to Cantonese cuisine and seafood dishes. Unfortunately, Jumbo, the famous floating restaurant, sank in the South China Sea. It happened just a few days after it was towed out of the harbor, where it was moored almost 50 years. This is how legends go down. But there are good news. The floating restaurant Jumbo's sister ship Thai Pak does have a future after all. The newborn Ltd company, which acquired Thai Pak in August 2022, announced its plans to renovate the vessel and reopen it by the third quarter of 2024. While we wait for its opening, I want to remind you that nationals of around 170 countries can visit Hong Kong without a visa for a period ranging from 7 to 180 days.
Oh, welcome.
This is my man.
Yes, sorry, Jason is on the way, almost here.
So what is this street? What is this street?
Avenue of Stars. It's the most famous, sightseeing on this
Is it like a Hollywood one?
Yes, it's a Hong Kong Hollywood.
This is where my first episode about Hong Kong comes to an end. This was the historical part of the series. Several more parts are coming, so subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed the video and write a comment to help us develop.